When I first sat down with the truck mechanic dangerous paths, I didn't really know what to expect. On the surface, it looks like another niche simulator game where you drive an old truck through the bad roads. But after playing it for a while, it became clear that it's trying to be more than that. It mixes off-road trucking, detailed vehicle repairs, a bit of survival elements in there as well, and even a story. The end result is, well, kind of unique but also very rough around the edges. This isn't the type of game that hands you a polished experience. It's clunky, it's slow, and it can be downright frustrating at times. But it does some things that genuinely stand out compared to the other Sims. So let me break down how it feels to actually play. I have to mention that this is not a final product and the developers have given me a playtest access, so a lot of things are subject to change as the game is still being developed. One of the first surprises is that Truck Mechanic Dangerous Paths actually has a story.
That attached to it. Can you find it? If I don't get shot first, sure. Bart, who would shoot you? And why?
Some guys. Never mind. Got any more information about where the balloon went down?
That might not sound huge, but in the sim genre, it's unusual. Most of the games in this space just throw you into the contracts or missions without much context. Here, there's a proper narrative, NPCs to meet, dialogue, and a sense that you're not just some faceless trucker. The way the story plays out is pretty low-key though. It's not cinematic in a way that's gonna blow you away. A lot of it is poorly voice acted, but those are just interactions that set you up on your jobs. But it does give you a reason to care about what you're doing beyond just hauling cargo. Some characters won't even talk to you until you've gained more respect in the region, which adds a little progression hook.
You're doing well. Who knows, maybe soon I'll start trusting you.
It's a neat touch, even if the writing itself is not going to win any awards. So let's talk about the trucks themselves, or should I say one truck, because that's what you'll be spending most of your time with. The driving feels okay, it's not great, not really terrible either. The physics engine is serviceable, and they lean into heavy, sluggish feel you expect from old rigs on bad roads. You're not zipping around with precision here. Every hill climb, every bend feels like a bit of a battle. The winch system is probably my favorite part of driving. If you played SnowRunner, you know how useful the winch can be. Here it works in a similar way, letting you drag yourself out of the mud or across tricky slopes, although it's not quite polished as SnowRunner systems, but it's good enough to be a lifeline when the terrain gets tough. And believe me, the terrain gets rough often. Where the driving struggles is in consistency. Sometimes the truck reacts believably to the terrain and the cargo weight, and other times it feels like you're driving on tarmac, although you're actually driving on dirt track. Now, here where the game sets itself apart. Repairs. If you ever played Car Mechanic Simulator or Truck Mechanic Simulator, you recognize the system here. But instead of working in a clean garage, you're fixing things on the roadside in the middle of nowhere. That's the core hook of the dangerous paths. Your truck will break and you have to get out and fix it part by part. It's not a quick menu or a repair button. You're literally dismantling components, unscrewing bolts, swapping parts, or reinstalling them piece by piece. Take the alternator for example. I was genuinely surprised by how detailed it was. You don't just click repair alternator. You pull it out, break it down, replace or fix individual sections, and put it all back together. If you like the fiddly detail of mechanic simulator games, you'll enjoy this part. And honestly, it feels more in depth than what I can remember from the Car Mechanic Simulator. On the flip side, obviously it can be tedious. Not everyone wants to stop mid-delivery, crawl under the truck and spend 10 minutes swapping parts with clunky animations. If you're not into that kind of detail, this game might wear you down quickly, you might not enjoy it. Beyond the trucks, you've also got a toolbox full of gadgets that play into both repairs and exploration. This includes things like machete and bolt cutters for clearing blocked paths or cutting access points, soldering tool for fixing electrical circuits scattered around the map, jack for replacing the wheels. Your truck also has lights and wiper blades. These are actually tools, you need them in bad weather or at night. Tools like these adds variety, but they also slow the gameplay down. Sometimes you just want to drive, and instead you're wandering around with machete chopping through vines. It's different, but again, very much aimed at people who enjoy micromanagement. One feature I didn't expect to like as much as I did is cargo management. When you pick up loads, you don't just throw them in the back, instead you have to arrange them in a grid like Tetris puzzle. It's not just cosmetic either, how you pack the truck affects the balance and space. It's a smart idea, although it can be finicky at times, but it does make you think about your truck as more than just a box on wheels. Another neat trick is the use of planks. You can strap wooden planks to the side of your lorry and then lay them down as makeshift bridges to cross gaps or mud. It's one of those features that feels very DIY survival, and while it's clumsy a little bit in execution, it reinforces the idea that you're scraping by with what you have. Fuel management is another big part of the game. You've got to keep an eye on your tank and plan routes around the fuel stations. You also have to carry emergency cans. Sometimes you'll also need those cans to power generators out in the field. Survival mechanics like these sound fun until you find yourself stranded because you miscalculated. Again, things like these, or whether you're gonna enjoy them, it's depending on your patience. If you like planning ahead, you'll probably enjoy it. If you just want to drive, not worrying about micromanaging, it might be feeling like a busy work. The NPC system adds a small layer of progression. Some characters won't give you jobs or even talk to you until you have built enough respect in the area. It's basically a reputation mechanic, and while it's not super fleshed out, it does make the world a little bit less static. That said, don't expect any rich dialogues or branching storylines. The writing is serviceable, but it's mostly there to get content and push you to keep grinding. Graphically, the game looks decent in some areas and dated in others. The environments capture that rugged remote vibe, but after a while you start noticing the repetition. Animations, especially during repairs, are stiff and clunky. It gets the job done, of course, but it won't blow anyone away. On the other hand, the first-person camera helps the immersion. Driving in the cockpit view with lights and wiper blades definitely feels more grounded. But again, the clumsiness of the animations and the occasional physics hiccup can pull you out of it. So who is this game for? Who's actually gonna enjoy this? Honestly, it's a niche audience. If you're into mechanic simulator series and you also like punishing off-road trucking like SnowRunner, then this is basically made for you. It combines those worlds into something that feels and is unique. But if you're more on a casual side, or you don't enjoy spending 10 minutes on screwing bolts or replacing single part on the side of the road, then you're probably not going to stick with it. Truck Mechanic, Dangerous Paths, has ambition. It wants to be more than just trucking game, more just a mechanic sim, and in some ways it succeeds. Roadside repairs, Tetris style cargo packing, tool usage, and the respect system are all ideas you don't really see in other driving sims. It's a game with personality, but also with plenty of rough edges that stop it from being widely appealing. At the end of the day, if you're looking for a polished mainstream trucking experience, this isn't it. But if you want something different, something that blends hardcore repairs with dangerous roads, you might find just enough here to keep you engaged. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this early preview, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.